Trojan family, Trojan gang. Mr. Fight On Forever's in the building. And today, we about to talk about SC versus Illinois, right? Now, this is going to be a very intriguing matchup. Now, at the beginning of the season, we marked this matchup as our first real challenge and our first real test to see where we at. Now, that kind of got spoiled last week because Illinois looked like a fraud last week. They got smashed by Indiana, 63-10. And we got to give a shout out to the Indiana coach. I feel like he's a top 10 coach to turn that program around to be a playoff caliber team. I got to salute Signetti out there with Indiana. They had a great game plan and they executed and they exploited Illinois' weakness. Now, Illinois, I'm going to start with their strength though. They got an NFL level quarterback. They do. You give him time, he could dice. He could do his thing. He don't make mistakes. He like Jaden. He got 9 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His quarterback rating is ranked 41st in the country. He a decent quarterback. And he got a decent running back duo too. Very versatile running backs. They can run, pass block, and they can catch. Right? So we got to watch out for them. Now, which was a strength and always be a strength for Illinois. Illinois is known for good DBs, and they got some pretty decent DBs this year. But they best DB, Xavier Scott, he just underwent surgery, and he's out for the season, right? So it'll be interesting to see which one of they DBs step up, because that's a big loss to take. Xavier Scott, NFL prospect. Matter of fact, he one of the top DBs in the country. They got a good DB program over there. Right? So that's some of their strength. Now, some of their weaknesses, their offensive line. That offensive line has been getting mauled, giving up sacks every game, multiple sacks every game. They just gave up 7 sacks to Indiana. I was watching the game telecast and it said 10 sacks, but the official sacks say 7. I know they got 17 pressures on the quarterback, and Luke Altmaier, he wasn't able to do his thing. He didn't have no time. He was under harassment all game, and they couldn't get none done on the run game. I think they running backs had a total of 2 yards rushing. So their offensive line is struggling, and it's kind of crazy because they returned 5 starters and they was better last year. So it's kind of interesting to see what's going on with that offensive line, and in particularly with the pass rush. When you watch the film, they struggle with a lot of stunts and variable formations, blitzes. They seem like they struggling with communication. It don't necessarily seem like a talent issue, but when it comes to communication, they out there struggling. When you do a stunt, they ain't picking up the new man that they now got to block, right? So look for USC to test that offensive line. Most definitely, because they've been under pressure, and I feel like we got more talent on our D-line than Indiana. Hey, I may be wrong. I'm not an Indiana expert, but the college football I do know, I feel like we got more blue chip talent on that defensive line. So we should be able to get similar pressure. Now, the key and the caveat to that, though, is Illinois, though, we got the number 1 pass rush in the country. We tied for the most sacks. I think we like number 4 in pressures, right? And Indiana just came off a week where they got throttled when it comes to pass protection. So I wouldn't be surprised, USC fans, if Illinois run a lot of max protect and 12 personnel. They're going to want to protect their quarterback. They ain't going to want to go through that week-to-week basis, especially when you got a good quarterback like they do, right? They're going to want to give him time. So expect to see a lot of things to combat when you got a weak offensive line with pass protection. So they're going to do things to make our defensive linemen think and not just think to peering their ears back to get to the quarterback. So you're going to see a lot of screens, draw plays, delays, maybe bubble screens. You're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see 12 protection, 2 tight ends. You're going to see the running backs staying in the block out the backfield. So when it comes to their passing game, expect quick passes, and that might bite us in our tail, because we've been struggling with the DBs and we like to play them off. We don't like to play press coverage. We like to give the DB space between the receiver and for them to keep things in front of them. So traditionally, how we play DB, if they dink and dunk, they're gonna be able to get 4 or 5 yards easy if they willing to dink and dunk. If I'm Illinois, First of all, you going to go to a quick passing game when your offense attack struggling. I would tell the wide receivers and the quarterback, if you line up and a DB is more than 10 yards off you, or more than 7 yards, 7+ yards off you, we run a quick 5-yard hitch route. A quick 5-yard route, turn around, take that 5 yards. If you see that at the line of scrimmage, audible, and that's a quick pass play, 5 yards. That's a way that they can ball control and keep the ball on our offensive hands, right? It's more than one way to skin a cat. So unless we make an adjustment, I feel like they pass game is going to be a lot of quick passes. So that could be a lot of long drives, and that could put us in the bend but don't break defense, and that could wear us down. Bend but don't break, that'd be a lot of snaps. I don't want to have to face 9 and 10 yard drives every possession, whether we give up a touchdown, field goal, or punt. We don't want the defense on the field for 10 plays every day. But I feel like that's what's going to be Illinois' approach. One, because they offensive line sucks at pass protection, so you're going to go to a quick passing game when you pass. Two, our DBs like to play off coverage, so that's going to be there for them, right? So it's important for us to watch to see how our DB are playing a wide receivers, because if our DBs is all playing off all game, they weak offensive line, and our defensive pass rush going to be negated. It ain't going to be as ferocious as Indiana. Indiana was able to get to the quarterback because he wasn't able to get the ball off quick. They had coverage, and they got to him quick, and it wasn't a quick outlet. Got to him quick. They DBs wasn't playing off. They was playing tight coverage, and they quarterback had to eat the sack. So, to me, I hope we continue trusting our DBs. They young out there. You know, we got 3 injuries in there. We got a lot of DBs that's playing for their first time, extended minutes. We got another DB, he a senior, but this is his first time at this level. I feel like we can't lose faith in them just yet, because it be mental bust for the most part. Only 1 or 2 times where I seen, okay, you just got beat, you just got ate, and you got, you know what I'm saying, you lost that possession. Most of the time it's a mental error. So hopefully we fixing that up in practice, and we can trust our DBs. Like, we ain't necessarily got to pay press, but be 5 yards off. Be 6 yards. Don't give up the dink and dunk. You know what I'm saying? Don't get that 10-yard cushion to where it's an easy layup, because then this will be a close game. If our DBs is going to play off and Illinois is willing to dink and dunk, they're going to be able to move the ball down the field with them dink and dunks. 5 yards here, 4 yards there, 5 yards there, right? So, to me, that's the key to the game. That our DBs is going to be the key. Can we dominate and cause wreck and get pressure on a quarterback like Indiana did? If our DBs could be sticky, could not give up. In this game, I'd rather be threatened to give up the deep ball. I'd rather threaten to give up the deep ball. I'll play my safeties deep. I'll have Bishop playing center field. And I would rather give up the deep ball than a dink and dunk, just for our pass rush could cause havoc. If I got to give up 1 touchdown or maybe even 2 big plays downfield to have a consistent pass rush where I'm getting 8 or 9 sacks and 15 to 20 pressures, then that's going to go to our favor. We're going to have a good game, even with them 2 big plays that we might give up. If every other play, the quarterback getting harassed, we're going to force a lot of punts. We ain't going to be on the field for no long drive because they dinking, dunking, taking the ball out of our offensive hands, and we'll be cool. So that'll be my defensive game plan. Do a lot of stunts because they struggle with stunts and athletic, quick defensive linemen. I'll be stunting Cam and Braylon all day. And Floyd, all of them got kind of quick first step on our D-line, probably except John Jarrett. So I'm stunting our dudes half the time, right? I'm stunting them. I'm not blitzing that much because we should be able to get pressure on them in a 4-man front, but I'm blitzing as well. I'm showing mixing up. I'm making their offensive line think, because they offensive line, when you watch, it's a lot of mental errors. Yes, some is getting beat, but a lot of it is mental errors from their offensive line. So I'm changing the formations. I'm stunting. I'm relining up. I'm faking blitzes. I'm blitzing. I'm doing everything right to make sure that we get that same harassment. That's their weakness. You got to exacerbate a team weakness and make them beat you through their weakness, right? So I'm aggressive on first down against the run to get them in passing downs, right? So I'm going to be an aggressive defense this game, because an aggressive defense is going to force you to have to make big plays. But to make big plays, you got to have time. They quarterback got to have time to make big plays. And if I got to give up 1 or 2 big plays, like I said, to make sure we getting pressure on the quarterback, that's what I'm going to do, right? And I know Illinois is going to try to dink and dunk. I got to take that away. I got to take the dink and we got to take that away. They're going to try to do that so we can get pressure. And they're going to be going max protect. If they going max protect, then that's when I'm going to blitz a lot, stun a lot, force them to use their mental game, which they've been struggling in. Now, when we got the ball offensively, we should have the same game plan against them. We should have the same game plan against them that we have against any other team. Stay balanced and just play our game. Stay balanced, play our game, be disciplined, right? Run the ball, keep that RPO going with them dual running backs, and we should be able to make plays happen. Indiana was able to make plays happen. They had a balanced offense attack. They had multiple formations. They was doing their thing. Signetti is a good coach. I'll take part of their game plan that they use. I mean, when the team put up 63 on the team, hey, take notes. You know what I'm saying? And Indiana was doing this is a game where we could bring out our playbook a little bit. We getting deeper into the schedule. I know they just lost 63-10, but they still a quality opponent at home on the road in a 9 a.m. start, right? So I feel like we can have success in the run and the pass against them. So there's no need for us to focus more heavy on the run or the pass. We need to do what we've been doing, just wrinkling up. Of course, we don't want to be predictable and run the same plays, but I say what we've been doing, stay efficient. Jaden Mayava, take what's there, run the ball, throw off play action, throw off RPOs, get the ball into our playmakers' hand, because another Illinois' weakness is they like to have a lot of missed tackles. They be missing tackles. So we want to get way more the ball. He's shifty. He gonna make guys miss regardless, right? So I would like to get way more the ball a lot, especially in space, because they struggle with tackling and way more hard to tackle. Of course, you're going to get Eli the ball from his playmaking ability. Then I want to get Makai the ball because he's good, run after the catch. And I would like to see Zachariah Williams. He kind of been quiet this year. I want to see our playmakers start to get more involved as we open up more of the playbook. In this game, I want to get the ball in the hands of our skilled players. Like I said, Makai, Jacoby, even people like Jay Fair, Tanuk Hines, because this team struggle with tackling. So you want to get the ball in playmakers' hand in space and see if they can make plays. We should have a lot of run after catch this game. We should have a lot of broke tackles, missed tackles. We should be able to show out if we don't self-inflict. Basic fundamental football. Don't beat ourselves. Don't get penalties. And I can't say the offense been pretty good with penalties. I ain't seen a lot of holdings. I ain't seen a lot of penalty on the offense. So just like I said, if we beat the offense we've been so far this year and even improve on that, when I say improve, have a more consistent run game. Our run game has been very, very good. We got like one of the top run games in the country, but we can still be more consistent per play, right? It's still a lot of 2-yard games and 1-yard games. I want every run at least be 4 yards or better this game. So we can still get more consistent in the run game. And I feel like we could get more explosive in the pass game. I feel like we could take more shots downfield. I feel like our speedsters, Tanuk, DJ, Jay Fair, I feel like we could open up the playbook and run more plays to get them explosive plays. So I feel like our offense got another level. I feel like our offense has been playing very within themselves, keeping it simple, taking what's there, and is playing a fundamentally sound game. But now I want our offense, since we didn't pretty much kind of master the not turning the ball over, not self-destructing on offense, playing within ourselves, and fighting another down, right? We've been able to stay above the sticks. You know, college football offense, one-on-one things, the fundamental things. So we've been doing the simple things that lead to great things very well. Now I want to see us push it a little more, open up that playbook. Well, I ain't seen not one trick play this year. I want to see a trick play this game. I want to see a reverse, double pass, something. I want to see something very creative, maybe a fake punt. I want to see us get more creative this game to try to get even more explosive plays. We've been in good offense. but we can have most of our explosive plays come in the run game, right? Our pass game has been intermediate, but we ain't had a lot of 50, 60-yard touchdowns, explosive pass plays. So I want this offense to open up even more so we can continue to grow and continue to push ourselves. Because just like Coach Henney say, if you ain't getting better, you getting worse, right? So for 4 weeks, I feel like offense has been at the same level, getting better and better, steady and steady. Now I want to see a jump and explosion. Now I want to see Mayava even use his legs more. And I want to see more explosive plays because I feel like we can be more dynamic. And I feel like we being vanilla with our playbook so far this season. So this is the game where I feel like we need to start opening up, see what we can do, start making a habit of making more big explosive plays, right? Then on defense, again, I want to see the linebackers do better too outside of Eric Gentry. Right, I need to see the linebackers do better, and we know we got the DBs. Like we improving. Last week was a D effort, so we starting from the bottom. We need our DBs at least to play a C effort. DBs, trust your technique, trust your fundamentals, and trust your coaching. Of course, be sharp mentally, and part of that's on the coaches. I know they've been on y'all this week. Deanton Lynn said that the way the secondary been playing and giving them big plays is unacceptable. So hopefully y'all getting right and off point, have y'all mind right. No blown assignments. You should know all the plays like the back of your hand at this point. We going into week 5. Most of the guys had spring, summer, and fall to learn the playbook, play in the playbook, execute the playbook. We halfway through the season. Know your playbook, DBs. Don't make no mental mistakes. 2, like I said, be fundamentally sound. Keep your assignments. Don't lose track of your technique and the fundamentals that you thought. Play through the receiver. If you ain't got to step on the receiver, you ain't got to turn your head down to find the ball, because then that's when you're going to lose another step. And then you might get tripped up and fall, just like DJ Harvey did. When you're in that situation, when you running even or you slightly beat by the receiver, watch the receiver eyes, watch his hands play through his body. So what that means is when you trailing him, and your back is to the ball, watch his eyes and his hands. Soon as his hands go up, your hands need to go up in between his hands, and you defend that pass. That's how you do it if you can't turn around and spot the ball. Only time you're going to turn around and look for the ball if you in perfect position. If you in perfect position, you could do that. If you ain't quite in perfect position, don't worry about looking for the ball. Worry about him making the glove to catch that ball. That receiver going to go up. He going to put one of them hands up, right? As soon as he do that, you got to put your hand up too, right? If he got to step on you, if y'all even, when he put that hand up, you in between him and the ball. So when you watch his eyes and see him tracking that ball, and right before that ball get there, you're going to be able to see, because what the receiver doing, and that's when you just put your hands up. It is basic fundamentals and techniques that you use. Stick to y'all fundamentals, stick to y'all technique. Don't panic. I feel like our DBs out there be thinking. Don't think. You ain't got to think if you know your play. And if you running a go route, somebody going deep, and you can't track that ball, put that hand up. Put that hand up in between that bread basket that he gonna try to put up to catch the ball. That's all we need, because our cover skills is not that bad. They got enough speed. They got enough agility. So to me, it's been technique, fundamentals, and the mental game. So I want to see our DBs take a step forward with their mental game, they fundamental, and they technique. And if we do that and we don't give up dink and dunk, we could blow this team out. If that don't happen and we give up dink and dunk and our D-line can't get pressure because of the dink and dunk, then it could be a battle. We could be in the battle. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, we could be in a battle if they could dink and dunk on our DBs, if they could take advantage of our DBs. Because for us to take advantage of our pass rush, our DBs got to be better than they was last week. Got to be better. You know what I'm saying? They got to be better. Last week, that was a D grade. If our DBs could just play B-, like you could get a B- by not messing up mentally and sticking to your fundamentals and technique with the talent they got, they automatically going to at least get a C+, B-. If our DBs could play at a C+ level, we go get pass protection on the quarterback. I mean, we going to get a decent pass rush, right? He ain't going to feel that comfortable. If we could get them to play at a B- level, yeah, we going to rack up sacks as well. we're going to rack up sacks as well. So that's the key. That ain't necessarily the key to victory, but that's the key to a comfortable win if our DBs play up the par and they trust it a little bit. That's going to be the key to victory. I feel like our offense going to do what it do. They going to be as efficient and as explosive as their opportunities, right? If the defense ain't giving up long drives because they giving up dink and dunks, and our offense be able to be out there on the field a lot and have they snaps and possessions and be able to wear on Illinois in the run game, then we going to go off the hook. Our offense going to do our thing given the opportunity. So it's going to be key to see if our defense can give us an opportunity. And they're going to start with the DBs. DBs do their job. We're going to cause wreck on the quarterback, and we're going to continue leading the nations in sacks. We're going to be looking like we look every other week. So until then, man, let me know what y'all think the keys to the game. I told y'all my keys to the game and how I think it could play out. It could play out two different ways. Either it's going to be a close game or we finna blow out. We finna blow them out. I don't see us getting blown out at all. I can see them getting blown out just because their weakness is our strength. Our number one strength on defense is our defensive line, and their number one weakness is their offensive line. And they ain't good at pass protection, and they run game and they run blocking ain't that good, right? So we should be able to dominate the trenches, and that's where football starts. Only way they could take away our advantage in the trenches if our DBs is getting toast and we giving up easy dink and dunks. Besides that, this should be an easy game. But hey, 9 a.m. start on the road environment, you never know. But we gonna have to come with our A game. When we come with our A game, we gonna win. So until then, man, it's Carter family, it's Carter gang, it's Trojan family, Trojan gang, and I'm out this thing.